Hello everyone, today, we're taking a trip down memory lane to revisit the amazing April Fool's pranks throughout the years in Tower of Saviors. Some of these seemingly ridiculous ideas actually made their way into the game and even became core mechanics. And it all started with the legendary Metazord combination system in 2014. 2014, the arrival of Metazord, the 5-machine combination. That year, the developers released a jaw-dropping trailer showcasing 5 mechanical monsters fusing together into Metazord. This supreme mechanical entity possessed absurd abilities. After combining, attack increased by 10 times, HP and recovery by 5 times, and it could perform full attack on all enemies. Players at the time were completely shocked, exclaiming, "This is insane." Its separation skill, Split Assault, dealt 50% of the enemy's max HP to all foes. The devastating animation of enemies being obliterated left everyone speechless. Was this really just an April Fool's joke? At first, players believed this was just a fun prank. After all, a 5-unit fusion seemed too unrealistic and far beyond the power level of any existing team. However, just a few years later, the combination system actually became a reality in the game, and its strength far surpassed the original concept shown in the trailer. When the system was finally implemented, combination characters brought a completely new combat experience, and even became the core of some of the strongest teams in certain patches. Looking back at the 2014 trailer, players can't help but be amazed. What was once a joke has now become one of the game's most powerful mechanics. This is the charm of Tower of Saviors' April Fool's pranks, not just for laughs, but sometimes shaping the future of the game itself. 2015. Glock's the Omniscient Oracle. If 2014's Metazord prank opened players' eyes to the potential of new game mechanics, then 2015's April Fool's event shocked the community with its absurdly overpowered skill designs. This year, the developers introduced what seemed to be a completely packed, ultimate stage, the Omniscient Oracle's Trial, alongside some hilariously broken new characters. The Omniscient Oracle's Fake Ultimate Stage. This stage was advertised as an extreme challenge, but when players entered, they quickly realized it was just an elaborate joke. The enemies were affected by bizarre mechanics, and some even had ridiculous dialogue. The most iconic moment, one of the NPCs, the Omniscient Oracle, attacked itself mid-battle. Players were left both laughing and confused, exclaiming, "They really went all out for April Fools this year. Did the devs just give up?" Agitator, the White Queen, the most expensive skill ever. This year also introduced a brand new character, Agitator, the White Queen, whose skill was simple yet outrageous, consumes 15 magic stones, deals 15 million non-attribute damage that ignores defense. At the time, 15 magic stones was a massive amount, enough for multiple card draws. Of course, no one would actually use such an expensive skill, but it quickly became a legendary meme in the Tower of Saviors community, known as the most expensive skill ever created. Where are they now? The fate of these April Fool's characters. In the end, most of these characters were officially added to the game, but their skills were heavily nerfed to the point of being unrecognizable. As a result, they ended up sitting in storage, never reaching the godlike power they had in the original prank trailer. However, despite their decline, Glock's most iconic feature remains unforgettable, its slippers flying across the screen during its skill animation. This hilarious soulful sandal effect continues to be a beloved memory among long-time players, proving that even April Fool's jokes can leave a lasting impact. 2016, Tower Founders. In 2016, Tower of Saviors delivered a shocking, overpowered new card reveal for April Fool's Day. However, what caught players off guard was the fact that the spotlight was on Terry and Terrence, along with a set of ridiculously overpowered skills. But here's the twist, not all of these were mere pranks. Some of these concepts were actually implemented in later updates. Terry and Terrence, Infinite Magic Stones and Auto Battle Madness. The skills of these two characters left players completely speechless. Terry, defeating an enemy guarantees a magic stone drop. This essentially turned him into an infinite magic stone farming machine. Terrence randomly removes 3 horizontal rows of runestones. This marked the first appearance of horizontal row removal in the game. Of course, when these two characters were officially released, their skills were significantly nerfed. Terry no longer printed infinite magic stones, and Terrence's runestone removal mechanic was later integrated into the Chronos Gate card series instead. Odin's power release, he finally got to skills. Another major reveal this year was Odin's power release. but the way it was presented was hilariously absurd. First skill, Eternal Supremacy, instantly wipes out all enemies, ignoring everything. This is way too broken. Second skill, No Skill, yes, you read that right, it literally did nothing. At the time, players could only treat this as a joke. After all, why would they ever make Odin a one-tap clear-all character? However, years later, Odin finally received his virtual rebirth, and this time, he actually had 2 skills. Veteran players were thrilled, saying, "It's no longer an April Fool's joke, it's real." Yog-Sothoth, the 8th Sealed Lord, was teased before her official release. In the April Fool's video, the 8th Sealed Lord, Yog-Sothoth, was introduced with terrifyingly absurd enemy skills that seemed too extreme to be real. Uninterrupted random shot randomly blasts entire horizontal or vertical rows of runestones. Infernal burning position across the board burns all runestones instantly. At the time, players assumed this was just an exaggerated prank. However, after April Fool's Day, Yog-Sothoth was officially introduced in the game. When players saw her stage mechanics, they were shocked. Wait, isn't this exactly from the April Fool's video? While her abilities were slightly adjusted for balance, the challenge remained intense, proving that this so-called prank was actually a sneaky preview of future content. Full-on Comedy Show 2017 to 2020. 2017, Investiture of the Gods Virtual Rebirth and Summer's Infinite Transmigration. In 2017, the April Fool's event introduced the Investiture of the Gods Virtual Rebirth, teasing a new evolution system. Meanwhile, Empty Summer was trapped in an infinite transmigration, making it one of the longest stage sequences in Tower of Savior's history. This year also featured a hilarious VR experience teaser, where players were told they could wear a VR headset to physically match runestones with their hands. While the idea never materialized, the concept of immersive runestone spinning sparked players' imaginations about the future of gaming. 2018-2020, from pliable concepts to pure entertainment. In the following years, the April Fool's events became more focused on pure fun rather than actual gameplay innovations. 2018, the introduction of the Awakening system, a Harpy racing stadium, and the ToS Farm Simulator, turning a puzzle battle game into a farming sim. 2019, Terry took center stage with a transforming mechanic, turning into various characters. The event even featured a dating sim, where players could romance characters, and an unexpectedly hilarious ToS host club. 2020, a nightmare stage difficulty event titled, "I Want to Be Your Girlfriend," took players by surprise. Alongside an announcement of the last ever Tower of Savior's card, some players thought the game was ending, only to realize it was all a prank. By this time, April Fool's had shifted from potential future updates to a full-on comedy show, but players continued to look forward to the creative pranks every year. Limited time voiceovers, 2021. 2021, limited time voiceovers and a mysterious collaboration teaser. The 2021 April Fool's event introduced special voiceovers for certain characters, recorded personally by ToS staff and top players. These voiceovers made familiar characters sound bizarrely exaggerated, with some delivering completely absurd lines in a deadpan tone. Players rushed to record these rare voice clips before they disappeared after just a few days, leaving those who missed out feeling deeply regretful. However, what really hyped up the player base was the mysterious collaboration teaser. A hidden URL appeared in-game, leading to an obscure silhouette and cryptic text. The community went wild with speculation until the final reveal: Godzilla was coming to ToS. This prank turned out to be a real collaboration teaser, paving the way for future crossover events with Digimon, One Punch Man, Ray, Zero, and more. Players started joking, "April Fools, teasers are more exciting than official announcements." Meme Events 2020-24. 2022, the Slapping Daisy minigame let players experience an over-the-top face slapping battle, while the concept of a new race and a card battle system was teased. Though it has yet to be implemented, the hilarious video remains a fan favorite. 2023, the announcement of Virtual Tower Domain, a new high-difficulty game mode, was initially dismissed as an April Fool's joke. However, it actually got added to the game shortly after, shocking the community. For once, they weren't kidding. 2024 has announced an 11-in-1 puzzle game collection, complete with a cinematic PV, making the game look like a multi-game platform overnight. Since it was obviously too ridiculous to be real, players laughed and said, April Fool's pranks have gone from potential updates to pure chaos. What surprises await in 2025? Will it be another crazy joke, or could we actually see a real game-changing update? Let's wait and find out. That's all for today's video. We hope you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, revisiting all the crazy and creative April Fool's events in Tower of Saviors. From game-changing mechanics to hilarious pranks, every year brings something new and unexpected. If you liked this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss out on our latest content. What's your favorite April Fool's event in ToS history? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy gaming!